All right, so picture this, right? We're diving into a city that makes Times Square look like a Zen garden. Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
This is new Neo-Tokyo, at least that's the setting for this story we're looking at the morning after. Think like flashing neon everywhere, holographic ads like plastered on every surface.
Oh, and don't forget the hover cars.
Oh, right. Hover cars zipping all over the place. It's like future city on overdrive, sensory overload to the max. And in the middle of all this, we meet Rico. And, Rico's an ordinary guy, just trying to make a living, pay the bills.
Dealing with deadlines, probably arguing with his internet provider.
Exactly. All the things we deal with, just with a way cooler backdrop, I guess. He's a data courier, by the way.
Data courier. So someone's still physically running around delivering data packets in this world.
That's what the story says, yeah. Makes you wonder, right? What kind of data is so important that it can't be sent digitally, even in a future like that?
Definitely raises some questions about their tech. Like, sure, they've got hover cars, but maybe they haven't quite figured out how to beam information directly into someone's brain yet. Anyway, sorry, you were saying Rico, ordinary guy, extraordinary city.
Oh, and one other small detail. He's also got a roommate. A zombie roommate.
Okay, now that's just not fair to lead with ordinary guy and then drop the zombie roommate bombshell. Tell me more.
Right. So, meet Zed. He's not your typical zombie. Think less brains and more aloha, as in the guy loves Hawaiian shirts.
Okay, now that's an image I wasn't expecting. A zombie in a Hawaiian shirt in a futuristic city. I'm intrigued.
Oh, and he loves dad jokes. Seriously, the story plays a lot with our expectations of what a zombie is. Like, this is not a flesh-eating monster, This is a guy who's more likely to tell you a terrible pun than try to bite you.
It's this fascinating blend of the mundane and the, undead. In a city obsessed with the future, you've got Zed, this walking anachronism, cracking jokes about traffic jams.
It's hilarious. Like, in one scene, he's trying to make breakfast, burns the toast, and then turns to Rico and says, "Get this. What does a zombie have to do to get a simple good morning in this crazy world?"
Oh, wow. On the surface, it's funny, right? Like, here's this zombie complaining about being ignored. But there's this underlying sadness to it, too. Like, he's looking for something.
Normal.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he wants to be more than just the zombie roommate.
Totally. And that's where the story takes this really interesting turn, because you'd think Rico would be freaked out, right? Like, dude, you're a zombie. Go haunt a graveyard or something.
Right. It's the expected reaction.
But that's not what happens at all.
So what does Rico do?
He actually leans into it. I mean, he could have just brushed it off like, funny zombie joke. But he doesn't. They actually end up having breakfast together.
Burnt toast and all.
It's this really kind of awkward, kind of funny, but also kind of sweet moment.
I could see that. It's like in this crazy city with all its craziness, they find this weird connection.
Exactly. And it makes you think about how the story contrasts Neo-Tokyo with this need for connection. Like, you've got this city that's all about speed, technology, sensory overload.
Which, let's be honest, isn't that different from our world, right? We're constantly bombarded with information, notifications, ads.
It's like we're always on,
Yeah, exactly. And in the middle of all that, it's easy to feel disconnected.
And that's where Rico and Zed come in. It's like they're both kind of lost in their own ways, and the shared moment, as weird as it is, it brings them together.
They tell that saying, laughter is the best medicine, even if it is about burnt toast.
And it makes you wonder, right? Like, what if we all embraced the absurd a little more? What if we looked for those moments of connection, even in the most unexpected places?
Especially in the most unexpected places. And I think that's the beauty of this story, right? It's funny, it's weird, it's got zombies, but at its core, it's about something very human.
Totally. It's about that need to connect, to be seen, to be understood. And it reminds us that even in a world that feels increasingly isolating, those connections are still possible. Makes you think, are we so busy chasing the next upgrade, the next gadget, that we forget to, actually connect with the people around us?
It's easy to get caught up in the noise, right?
Yeah.
Especially with how fast everything's moving these days.
Totally. And this story, it's not just about Rico and Zed. It's like it's holding up a mirror, right, to our own lives, our own search for connection in a world that can feel, kind of lonely sometimes.
It makes you wonder, what if we all had a little Zed in us?
You mean the Hawaiian shirts?
Maybe. But no, I mean, that openness, that willingness to just reach out, even if it means, burning the toast.
And maybe a little Rico too, right? Willing to look past the differences.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know, share a laugh over burnt toast with a zombie.
Exactly. It's about seeing the humanity in everyone, in everything.
Yeah.
Even in a crazy futuristic city like New Neo Tokyo, finding those moments of grace, those sparks of connection. Because they're out there, you just have to be open to them.
It's like that saying, right? Life is stranger than fiction. Or in this case, life with a zombie roommate is stranger than fiction. But hey, maybe that's not such a bad thing. Maybe we need a little more strange in our lives.
A little more unexpected connection.
Exactly. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the morning after, let's take that message with us, right? Connection is possible, even in the most unexpected circumstances. Until next time, keep exploring, keep connecting, and keep an eye out for those zombies in Hawaiian shirts. You never know, they might just make you laugh.